Alright, we are back with another Malifaux video battle report. I am Crazy Carl from the Weird Forums, playing against Pat Lane, who's right there. There we go. He's waving. It is a 35 Soulstone scrap. It is Pandora,
who has two Stitch Together, the Twins, Doppelganger, and Primordial Magic, against Colette, who has two Quarry Free, a Dove, Performer Mannequin, and Cassandra. Pandora has Claim Jump, which is over here, as well as Steel Relic and Bodyguard Pandora. Colette has a Line in the Sand, Breakthrough, and Bodyguard. Interestingly, Pat flipped a 1 for his strategy, so he was going to have to do Line in the Sand along with me, but he decided he did not really want to try and compete for that, so he went for the Soul Flip and Reflip and got the Claim Jump instead. So he thinks it worked out pretty well for him. I think I'd probably have to agree. He has a 6 Soulstone cache, I have a 7, and we are just about to start turn 1. Turn 1 is passed with not much fanfare. I had Cassandra activate 1 Dynamite marker. Colette activated a second one after swapping with the Quarry Free Duet, which had moved up the board. A Performer moved around this side of the board and didn't do much. I have a Dove hanging out over here. I summoned a second Dove, which is hanging out over there. Pandora had a variety of willpower shenanigans between Stitch Together, Zalilu failing actually, then Lili2 getting off one, or failing to cast 1 lure, which allowed her to push up, and then she just kind of hung out over here because she just didn't really feel like going any further. Doppelganger flew into the woods by taking Fly, as did the Primordial Magic with its Float. So, going into turn 2, not a whole heck of a lot going on, but I expect things will probably pick up very soon. Alright, turn 2 has come and gone. I actually almost forgot to record this. There was a Stitch Together in the woods, along with the Lilu, with that Quarry Free Duet there. The Quarry Free Duet, I made a mistake and didn't keep it out of the woods. So unfortunately it's down to 1 wound with Poison 2, so it's in pretty dire straits. We've got Lili2 sitting out in the middle of the board. That Stitch Together moved up and tried to do some things with Pandora, which was ineffectual. And that other Stitched, that's the one that walked out of the forest, yeah. So a little bit of turn 2, or turn 3 in there. There's a Dove that I flew back there. And then Colette is over here with a Mannequin, Cassandra, and then the Performer on this turn has walked up from back there. So again, no more objectives have been taken, but we are now going into turn 3. Turn 3 is come and gone, very eventful. Pat neglected to remember that because it's clearly his awful mistake, that the Doves can be used for prevention flips, unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they can. So the Dove was able to help the Quarry Free Duet stay alive by preventing the damage to its. Lilu flew away, the Stitch Together tried to gamble. I cheated my red Joker to keep him from gambling because I figured I was going to lose a card anyway, so I might as well make sure I don't take a wound. Performer got lured up here by Lilu, or Lili2, which was up here, now is down there because I Disappearing Act. Got her down to 1 wound, but she's not dead. Colette swapped with Cassandra. Cassandra's now behind this building, and Colette tried to Disappearing Act Lili2. I cheated in my 10 of tomes, but was unable to flip another tome. I did hit a mask, so I was able to get one of my Soulstones back, so it wasn't a complete loss. And I was able to keep Lili from not doing anything she was going to do anyway, so it was kind of irrelevant. I was going to try and get for the Mannequin replacement, and it unfortunately did not pan out. The 2 Stitch are still hanging out right there, Doppelganger's there, and the Quarry Free Duet is now hanging back there to threaten, well, the entire board. So, we are now going into turn 4. Oh, then Colette also summoned a Dove. That also happened. So, alright, turn 4 has come and gone. It was very eventful. The Quarry Free Duet came in, did a bunch of damage with Orchestral Crescendo. The way that happened is it was back behind that forest over there. Cassandra switched with it, then pushed up into base contact. You'll notice Cassandra isn't on the board anymore. That's because I made a big mess up. I had a Dove up here. Cassandra was down here. Reactivated Stitch, walked around. Gamblered. I heard Gamble Your Life, so I sacked my Dove to get the plus on the Soulstone flip. Made it, and then was pleasantly surprised with a Gamble Your Life, which then killed her. So I am now down Cassandra. I have a Dove hanging out over there, I've got Colette over here, and then I've got the Duet over there. So I'm pretty low on models at this point. So the game is pretty up in the air, but we'll see how things go. We're going into turn 5. Turn 5, pretty important turn. I made a pretty big goof again this turn. Well, this one was a play error as opposed to hearing things wrong. I don't know what I was thinking. I had the Duet sitting right on that Dynamite marker. I lost initiative, but Pandora was blocked in. I just figured Pandora was going somewhere else. I don't know what I was thinking. I could have activated, and been in really good shape, as opposed to what I did, which was just try and bait activations and then do what I wanted with the duet outside of his activations. So as a result, Pandora was able to kill off the duet pretty easily, and he's now sitting on his claim jump with 2 models, soon to be 3. I'm not completely out of it. I've got 2 doves, and then I've got Colette and a mannequin hanging out over there. And what else did happen that turn? Not much else. Lilu's sitting pretty low. Oh, last turn I killed off Lily too with mannequin replacement. The mannequin died, that's why I didn't think about it. So I only have 2 dynamite markers activated at the moment, so I think I'm leaning pretty heavily on doing a lot of damage this turn and then getting a turn 7 with Colette's The Show Must Go On. So pretty interesting game so far, so we'll see how things go turn 6. Alright, turn 6 is come and gone. I was unable to stop this doppelganger. So basically the turn sequence ended with a couple of doves came over, tried to blow up Pandora. One of them succeeded, the other one failed when she was at 4 wounds, so it took her down to 2. So unfortunately I had to walk Colette over and Magician's Duel her, which after a bunch of Soulstoning was able to succeed. Then my only option, well, I had 2 options. So I sent the dove over there to stop the doppelganger, which was over there, but it was able to make its disengage strike. However, I could have used the mannequin, tried to cast Beautiful Clothes, and hope for the requisite trigger to get the 3 damage on the defender. Could have done that. I needed to get a book. I didn't have a book in my hand, and I could have even used Soulstone, but I don't know if that would have really done it. With the dove, I might have been able to pull it off, but I don't think I had another book with all these cards. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there's no books with that many cards, and I cheated in that 7, I think. So, yeah, that was how that turned out. And yeah, disappearing at Lilu. I was able to win the initiative on a red Joker, which was pretty fortunate. Unfortunately, I went through a lot of high cards really. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, I went through a lot of high cards early on in the turn, so I didn't have much later on. And I was able to get Lilu out of there, which saved both the doves that were back behind this thing, but ended up not being enough. So the game ended up finishing with me having 0 points for Line in the Sand because I failed. I got 0 for Breakthrough because I failed, and I got 2 for Bodyguard because Bodyguard on Colette is really easy. Pat was able to get 4 for Stake of Claim because he was able to get all the victory conditions for it. Nothing for Bodyguard and nothing for Steel Relic because Colette is bouncy like that. So all in all, a very good game, and we will come back to you with another game hopefully soon.